Namaste, welcome back to our channel Ayurveda 360. So, on 9th of March 2022, the Union Cabinet, that is Government of India, chaired by Honorable Prime Minister, agreed or you can say approved the setup of WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine, which can be shortly called as WHO GCTM. So, it's a very prestigious honor or you can say unit and an honor for we the Indians for having such a one and only setup across the globe. The only center that is available at present is India, and it is by the efforts of Indian government along with the WHO and the good relation that we are sharing that such kind of you can say prestigious you can setup is actually given to India. So in this video we are going to have a brief look into various aspects in relation to the global center. What are the various processes during this setup and also what could be the various benefits for people across the globe. So watch this video till the end for clear information. So basically the idea of India being the global center for traditional medicine is not a few weeks discussion. It was already proposed long ago, and the Director General of WHO, Dr. Tedros, he actually announced it. When did he announce? Basically, he announced it on the day of Ayurveda Day, like celebrations of Ayurveda Day in 2020. That was, you can say, November 13th, 2020. During that time itself, through video conferencing, along with even Prime Minister being there live, the entire Indians came to know regarding India getting this extra, you can say, prestigious honor of having the center, that is the Global Center for Traditional Medicine. So during the speech, or you can say during his speech on that particular day, that is Ayurveda Day 2020, he stressed on this particular global center for various purposes. Basically the research and you can say the evidence-based medicine and ultimately reaching across the globe. That is the ultimate aim of this proposal, and ultimately the results are out now. That is India being the global center. So at the same time, he also thanked the Prime Minister of India for accepting this offer and making the necessary arrangements. This is actually a plan, one of the plans, you can say one of the plans of WHO Traditional Medicine Strategy, so which is of 10 years plan. So one among them can be considered as the Global Center for Traditional Medicine. So in reply to this, the Honorable Prime Minister actually congratulated the entire Indians and also took the pride in you can say getting such opportunities. He ultimately said that, or you can say concluded that, just like how India has emerged as the pharma leader across the globe, similarly it is going to be the leader, or you can say global leader in the traditional medicine. So with that hope, so the proposal is accepted, and I hope it is up to the ones who are going to get the actual groundwork in these projects to reach the actual target. Now, at the same time, if you can remember, on that particular day, that is Ayurveda Day 2020, there was also you can say dedication of two particular institutes to the you can say Indians. That is, one is Jamnagar was actually the IPGTRA was transformed as ITRA, and it was given the institution of national importance status. At the same time, the National Institute of Ayurveda Jaipur, which was earlier not a deemed university, which was coming under Jodhpur University, it was declared as deemed to be university by the UGC. So now, along with that, this also the traditional you can say global center was also declared. But since it was just declared, none of us were having clear-cut idea regarding what could be the possibilities of this kind of setup. Now that the cabinet has approved, there are certain clear information regarding various you can say work related matter in relation to this global center. So we are going to see in this brief video regarding basic facilities, what, or you can say the aims of this project. So Jamnagar is identified as the center. So it is considered as a center for setting up of this kind of the global center, and now it is not finalized. You can say interim center is given to ITRA. Later the actual setup will be completed after identifying the proper location. Now the Global Center for Traditional Medicine is first one, like it was not existing earlier, and right now it is the only center. There is no other place in the world where such kind of a center exists. So this is the first as well as the only center across the globe for such kind of, you can say, traditional medicine. So unlike the other projects where 7 to 8 countries would be given across the globe, this is the only one. Now, for continuing, or you can say for further steps in this setup, a joint task force is going to be framed. So for what purpose? For the coordination of the discussed matter, execution skill, and once execution is started, the monitoring of each and every plan what is being discussed. So until establishment, this task force will be working, and it will have representatives from different areas. One is of course the government of India, certain representatives. Of course there will be the WHO Indian panel who are working there in WHO across in the traditional medicines section. At the same time, the Geneva, the WHO representatives. So they will also be included in this joint force for completing the establishment. Now in between this proposal acceptance and final the center, there is an interim office that is now considered as ITRA Jamnagar. So here whatever idea was discussed, or you can say it is proposed, so those things will be put in execution by the special task force. Now after getting to know regarding this, you might be thinking what could be the various benefits. So what is the necessity of these things? Because each and every country is having its own traditional medicine. Of course not all, few of them. So what is the necessity of a global center, something like this. So what could be the benefit? The first one, the globalization aspect. So once this global center is set up, it becomes easier for a traditional medicine to reach across the globe from corner to corner. Usually what happens, every nation is having its own rules and regulations, and sometimes you being a doctor in your own country, you may not be called as a doctor in another country. So it happens vice versa. Sometimes you are studying somewhere else, there you are called as a doctor, some you come back and there you are not considered as a doctor. So there are multiple rules, you can say the change in rules, change in policies, which make it difficult for a traditional practitioner to reach each and every person across the globe. Definitely. That is why it is still restricted. If you consider the traditional medicine, you can still see that majority of the traditional medicine exists only around that particular part, not across the globe. Now, this is one aspect. Globalization could be easier because the policies would be at the WHO level, and I think each and every country would be able to accept the WHO matter easily rather than individually. Now, the second one that could be the benefit is the standardization of the quality, safety, and efficacy of the drugs. Since the you can say contemporary medicine is having a very standard, you can say quality related, efficacy related, safety related issue, because it is synthetic product mostly. But the traditional system of medicine, usually having the natural, you can say, origin, has a variety of its actions based on the collection of the drug and other things. Now certain basic precautions, or you can say quality related, safety related, efficacy related issues should be focused so that globally the acceptance would be easier. And also the accessibility and rationality in application of these principles, the traditional medicine principles, should be considered, and that could be possible by a center like the Global Center for Traditional Medicine. So the rationality of the use of drugs could be based on which traditional medicine is being considered, whether it is Ayurveda or homeopathy, or it could be any of the traditional medicine. It's not restricted to only one. Now, once the Global Center takes over, now in cases where there is requirement of some standard protocols, then it becomes the global leader. It becomes the global leader for giving the information. Just like the recent COVID-like situation where multiple, you can say, the protocols were framed by different people. But ultimately the one which can be standard was given by the Ministry of Ayush. Similarly, during this process, or you can say in any of such situations in the future, so this traditional medicine, the global center, could emerge as a global leader, and whatever it considers or whatever the opinion is coming from there could be taken as standard, because it could be the global leader. Now it has the responsibility of making guidelines and regulations in relation to the practice of this traditional medicine. Of course these are very basic. So also the standardization of tools, assessment tools. What kind of assessment tools? It could be the data assessment, data collection tools. It could be the assessment of the collected data, interpretation of all those things, or you can say evaluation of all those data. So everything should be standardized, or you can say everything should be having a uniform, you can say, information from one place to other. Then only the globalization is possible. So those things will be looked after by such kind of, you can say, global center. Now apart from this, so WHO, that is traditional medicine, it is considering certain information center, or you can say informatics center, a virtual informatics center. You can say it's a virtual one where we are having the access to search any of the information what we require in relation to traditional medicine. So it's a future plan, not the ready-made plan, it's a future plan. And that virtual, you can say portal, or you can say the virtual document will be having, or you can say it is proposed to be having, the already existing data in relation to traditional medicine, and also the libraries across the globe. It could be accessed at one click. It could be connected with academic institutions and research institutions, so that the entire information in relation to traditional medicine can be brought under one roof, under a you can say web portal or such kind of informatics, that is called as WHO Traditional Medicine Informatics Center. So it's a virtual one where each and every person across the globe can get the information at his fingertips. So this is one proposed idea from this Traditional Medicine Global Center. So apart from this, once the information is clear, or you can say proposed and finalized, that should be shared, or you can say given to the authentic personalities. For that purpose, the training and you can say workshops, regular workshops, and you can say teaching those authorities to spread the information, whatever the global center has found. So that will be again taken up by the authorities there. So skill development is one area where any of the higher center should look at, and this is no exception for that. Now, ultimately, the main aim, or you can say the goal of this WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine is, it should provide a leadership on all global levels in relation to traditional medicine. So as I already mentioned, something example like COVID. Also, wherever the traditional medicine exists in the country, like in India, we have multiple, and majorly it is the Ayurveda. In any other country, there could be some particular traditional medicine. So each and every country where traditional medicine exists, they require certain support from the external sources. So Traditional Medicine Global Center will be the one which will give them, or you can say cater them, the help required by them, so that they also can reach the global level. So that ultimately, whenever a patient is there, so the best possible treatment could be given to the patient as per the data available. So in that way, the ultimate goal is of you can say a very distant vision, but of course before that there should be multiple steps which should be passed, then only we can achieve that ultimate target. So we should be thankful, and you can say the proud of this moment, because this is the coordination between the government of India and WHO, and the relation which has made it possible. So ultimately we should be appreciating and also be thankful for that. So with this we complete the today's video. So in relation to the WHO strategy in relation to traditional medicine, which is specifically for 10 years, we'll have a brief discussion regarding that in the near future, because this is a part of that. So ultimately this is a part of that 10-year strategy. So we'll look into that in near future. Ultimately we have other, you can say, playlists where multiple curriculum related subjects are discussed, multiple general perception in relation to public is discussed, and also very useful information for students who are in confusion in UG or PG. So all those things are having or like discussed in multiple playlists in the channel. You can go through them. If you like the content of our channel, kindly like, share and subscribe. Kindly press the notification button, because whenever we upload a video, you will get instant information regarding that. Also ask your other Ayurveda fraternity people to look into our channel. If they like it, kindly share and subscribe to them as well. Until next time, thank you.